Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Sorensen, product owner for the Nuremberg Trial Archives and Arclight project. Welcome to the demo video for Sprint 4 of NTA and Arclight Fall 2022 work cycle. We are now 9 weeks into our 11-week work cycle. Now we'll hear from the team about work progress from this most recent 2-week sprint, and I will go ahead and start us off. I'm going to be speaking now about transcripts and caption videos that have been accessioned and are now displayed on the stage site. There are 37 videos in the Nuremberg Trial Archives collection, and these films are evidence or exhibits that were presented during the trials involving footage of concentration camps, wartime speeches by the Nazi Party, and so on. We worked with a vendor to produce captions and transcripts, as well as translations of those transcripts that were in German or Russian. The transcripts are downloadable as plain text. Michael Angeletti in our Stanford Media Preservation Lab added captions to 36 of the 37 videos. One of the videos is silent. We want to thank Dinah Handel on her guidance for resources to help us create accessible formatting for the captions, and to Jeff Willard for completing the accessioning process during this last sprint. So now I'm going to demonstrate the interface for the caption videos and downloadable transcripts. So you can click this three-dot section here and view the original video file, which is the default, the video file with English captions, the video file with German captions, and so on. I'm just going to play the English captions quickly here.
Einer eben erst gegründeten kleinen Partei, die sich Deutsche Arbeiterpartei nannte, zu Dietrich Eckart. Und damit war die erste Verbindung zwischen der kommenden NSDAP und Dietrich Eckart.
And then if you would like to access the transcripts, the plain text transcripts in English and German, you can download them here by clicking this icon. We have also added item level content warnings for images and films now that we are able to distinguish different types of items with the EAD data loaded and the media type facet present. So you can see here, content warning, imagery and language presented in this archival material may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. And this brief statement is present in the images and films, like I said. Additionally, we revised the collection-wide content warning on the main NTA page, which can be found here. And now I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Nick.
Hey, this is Nick from the Access team. We invested some more time this sprint in remediating the original data that was provided to us by the International Court of Justice and loading it into archive space in order to address problems that were cropping up when the metadata was viewed in the application. One area of focus was the formatting and display of dates. Audio recordings in the collection often have time information indicating the period of time on a particular day on which they were recorded, but other records don't have information this granular, or they have no date information at all. We used the date expression field in the EAD to control the display of these dates so that they were a little more readable when viewing audio recordings on the virtual tribunal site. This recording, for example, covers a 15-minute segment of the tribunals on November 30th, 1945. We also streamlined the data processing pipeline in Python and committed it to the application's repository, along with documentation about how the data remediation process works. When we make a change to the source data, we store an updated version of the data along with the application's code, so everything is tracked in the same place and older versions can easily be accessed on GitHub.
This is Marlo from the Access team. I'm going to present a few things in the user interface now that we are able to access due to the cleaned up and improved data that Nick just displayed. So now that we sort of have the full EAD XML of the entire collection and more reliable data, we've been able to move forward with indexing that data and getting it into the application. We needed to do some discovery as a team as to where in the EAD those pieces of data lived. But after that process of discovery and sort of some iterating around that between the EAD and archive space, we were able to move forward with indexing. So one of the most visible ways you'll see that displayed now is through our faceting. We, at the sprint, got the language facet, media format facet, resource type facet, and the resource format facet, all working with the actual real data for the collection. Also, the level facet kind of says which level in the hierarchy of data we are looking at for each type of grouping. So you can also access this type of facet filtering through these badges on the homepage. If you click one of the badges, it basically takes you to a page that's performed a faceting type search for that type of resource type in this case. And you can see the type of facet you're engaging with at the top here. The last thing I'll point out as far as UI features that have been enabled now that we've indexed all our data is the metadata display within a component. All of these fields are similar to the facet fields. Well, all of the facet fields that you saw in the last view are included in the metadata display, in addition to some other things like the box number, the extent, and the document number. That has all been enabled now that we have the full item metadata indexed into our instance of Arclight. So I'll move on to talk about our work on full text searching. That's something that's been ongoing this sprint. We started by enabling an alert here that you'll see when you perform a full text search. We kind of just give some context about the quality of the text that users will be engaging with. And we were able to harvest all of the full text documents, get them onto the production and the staging servers, and complete that process, which is harvesting about 5,000 text documents. And we ran into some issues with indexing that content. So the work is ongoing into the next sprint to actually get the search of the full text working. But we made progress with like investigating those issues and getting some of the UI things in place to enable that feature. I guess sort of going off of that, I'll mention some final smaller things we did in the UI this sprint. One is to edit what type of fielded search we're able to do in our Arclight here. And so you'll see you can either search all fields or the full text, which is, like I said, work in progress right now. And the last UI feature I'll feature in this part of my presentation is the feedback form. That will be able to be submitted by anyone using the site, any member of the public using the site. So hopefully that can provide valuable feedback going forward as we move into production and maintenance of the application.